go.
I'm so ready to go.
Now, unfortunately, over the weekend, I didn't get much maintenance time, so I got a little bit of algae. Got a little work to do.
Shrimp like algae. Y'all look, like, this is like one of my favorite things here. I use these same things for my bettas, but he's using them as little bitty fried grow outs. And it got this light that's right over 3 of them.
I got that betta from
yeah.
Stephen P. And it's hurting.
Oh,
I'm trying to save it. Put some salt, put an almond leaf in there.
it happens. I had
It was
one
really cold, I think.
I had one that passed on me before I left. In fact, it was one I got from the Orlando show. I did everything, and sometimes you can do everything you can do, and it still don't help.
That's the short-bodied black koi.
Yep.
And
I have the albino.
I have her separated from the others, so
Yeah.
that way she looks like she's close to popping.
Yeah, ain't gonna be long. All right, what we got here?
These are my Extreme Blue Bolt culls. So some blue steels in there. Looks like I got a black steel in there, maybe a red steel.
I don't know how close I can get with it still being clear.
But I did I tried to pull out the ones that weren't as blue as the other ones in my main tank.
They're neat though. They're like a smoky blue.
Yes.
That's kind of cool. I kind of dig that better than I do the steel blue. I like that smoky blue there. Was neat. You make the freaking cutest little setups.
See, I already put the stickers that Shanna gave me on my rack. Dun, dun, dun.
Right?
See, I'm showing some love.
Dun, dun, dun. Boom. All right. We'll start here.
This one is my
The
clown killifish.
I remembered.
Yes. And you can get a shot over here on the side. This is where I was breeding them. And
I love killies. They're so freaking personable. They're just like, you walk up to the tank and they come a-running.
so I noticed that I did have one of them that's a male fry. So I pulled him out. I pulled out the big male and put him in another tank to see if they'll continue breeding. I didn't want the males to get too aggressive.
Right.
And now that he's filling in and starting to show some color, he's got some really
Up
nice
at the top
color.
here.
Yeah, and if you can tell, none of them have the fins that flare out on the top and bottom.
Okay.
So that's how you know that those are female. And then this one over here in the middle, that's the male. And you can see the flare on the tail underneath.
Oh. They're so tiny.
I know. But he's young. He's a
Yeah.
couple of months old at
Right.
best.
But the parents are in there too.
The mamas are.
The mamas are.
The dad is in this other tank down here.
Oh, we'll go ahead and look at them. If we could find him, last time we couldn't find. Oh, there they are. Right there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I put some food in there, so they're probably...
And excuse my voice, you guys. If I get this video right out after the Aquashella one or before it, that's what's wrong with my voice. Aquashella Dallas.
So I'm hoping in the next week or so, maybe I'll see some fry, because I've had the male in there now for about almost 2 weeks. This tank on the bottom is basically where I like to put my shrimp whenever I get them. Like this group of shrimp, they're separated, so I only have one in there, I think. Maybe one or two. But I had to separate them all because they were all mixed in together. They were sorted.
Oh.
But this tank that I use for that, or when I think I'm going to switch it over and pull some of my culls and put them in here. But now that my collection is growing,
see,
at least I have the available tank space.
Like, they're simple. Like, I think it's got to be full of plants. But yours are full of plants, but simple. And it's so shrimple.
It's shrimple.
See, that one right there, that is cute as I'll get out, but it's minimal. And these are
the one on the bottom is hooker moss, or I think it's called something like that.
And what are the shrimp?
These are the PRLs. Pure red lines.
These are the ones. Nope, I'm getting the blacks.
Right.
Okay.
And I made a little short video on that moss tree.
That is so cool. I've got one, but I could never make it look right. Look, we got a little shrimpy on it too.
They love it.
Oh, yeah.
And I just love the way the moss is growing.
Yes.
So I'm kind of using this tank to keep that moss growing, and the little pieces that fall off, I'm trying to propagate and put in other tanks.
Ah.
I want to make more moss trees because those are really pretty.
They are really pretty. I'm going to have to pull mine back out and try it again.
Those are my extreme blue bolts.
Oh, hey. And you guys, I'm short. These are tall. I'm having to sit on my tippy toes.
And this tank, what's really cool about it, and I think is why they're doing so well breeding, is I have 5 pieces of cholla wood back there. 3 of them facing us, and then 2 going across. So instead of buying those breeding caves, I use the cholla wood to make kind of like breeding caves. And then I put the Sawasser all around it, and little pieces of other mosses that I have. And it's just exploded.
Yeah.
It's been crystal clear since setup, just like this one with
See, my Sawasser isn't growing, but I think it's because my water's so hard, and I am going to start kind of changing it up just a little bit. Stand right there and show us what you have there. I'll get you in it too.
I usually, when I start having slow growth with my Sawasser tank, I'll
trim it.
I'll trim it, and then I'll try to fluff it and rotate it.
Okay.
That seems to rejuvenate it.
Okay.
I think is the right word. I think it's kind of like other plants to me, like in my moss trees that I use the Sawasser tank. I constantly trim them, and they're constantly growing. So I kind of just adapted that to when I see it slow growth.
Right.
I'll clean it up, rotate it a little bit, just like in this tank down here. This is all Sawasser tank. So I have to rotate it like once a week.
Good grief, look at all that.
Yeah.
Jeez, I have one little disc of it, and I've had it for a few months, and it didn't die, but it ain't doing nothing. It ain't doing that.
Well, like I said, I rotate it constantly, and then sometimes I'll just take the scissors in there and chop it.
Oh, let's see what's up top here.
Up here is some yo-yo loaches, bow tie yo-yo loaches, and some yellow tiger. I think they're yellow tiger cobras or something like that.
Right.
They're really, really unique. These are the same ones that were in the first tank up there.
Okay.
So I took the males out because the males were pretty aggressive, so I wanted to give the females a rest, and I put the males in here.
I think yo-yo loach back there. It was on the sponge filter.
Yeah. Ooh. And this tank was full of snails. Bad.
Yeah.
But those loaches have
crazy.
Done their job.
Cool.
And here's some 24 karat gold females. And I took the females out because the males were, again, aggressive and beating them up, so I wanted to give them a rest. But I have a couple of other tanks. Those fry that were in the little nano tanks over there, that's 24 karat gold fry.
Okay. And I love the hair moss. Hair algae.
Yes.
I love it.
I know.
I love
to me, I like it. It's like a plant.
Yep.
And the way it's growing right there, I think that's really good if any fry gets born.
I get it. If it's in a show tank, you don't want it.
Right.
But for breeding, oh my gosh, it's like you can't beat it.
Same thing with shrimp, in some of my shrimp tanks, they're very full of algae.
Right.
But I think It's food.
The only thing I take algae off of my tanks is on the front. Kind of
Yes.
like you do here. Only on the front. All right, and we got what here?
The turquoise albinos. And this is the last pair I have. I've grown them up from fry, so I'm surprised that they've lasted this long, but I'm hoping to get a batch of fry out of them because they seem pretty hardy that they made it this long. I had gotten them way back in March, and the parents all died, and they had fry.
I know I keep going back to the plants, but I'm amazed at the guppy grass. The roots come down. I don't have roots like that. My roots are itty bitty on mine and lay at the top.
Really?
Yes, it's weird.
Huh.
I wish mine would do that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool looking, but it's also a pain in the butt when you're trying to trim it because it pulls up. Because it will grow into your...
Now this one doesn't have much plants in it.
No, and I keep trying.
Okay.
But those German rams seem to like to eat it, or the water just doesn't have enough for the plants to thrive.
Okay.
Because I keep on losing the plants.
Oh.
And you see that one plant that's in there, you know, that's actually new growth. So I'm hoping it takes and starts to spread and grow.
Now, are these new fish? Are they full grown?
I wouldn't say they're quite full grown yet, but I've had them now since, I think it was around January when I did the video from Dan's Fish. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I got them from Dan's Fish. So all of the fish in this tank, even the dwarf snowball.
And that is cool. I wish we could see that little dude.
It's an L471.
He is amazing. Like, he don't get no bigger than what he is, and he's cute and tiny.
Yeah, I got him and the German rams at the same time.
I didn't even know that you could get those, or they came that little anyway.
Sorry. That was weird.
I can cut that out. But I didn't even know that those little plecos even... I didn't know plecos got that little or were full grown at that size.
Yeah. And it's... I first saw it, I think it was Aqua Malik. I saw his videos on them, which I did my research and watched a lot of the stuff he was doing, and before I bought the Pleco.
He must be in that thing, because I don't see him. Or he could be on the back of the sponge. Maybe he'll pop out before we leave.
And then in that one, and it's cool, that tank, I leave it that way because it's not dirty.
Tannin.
The water is not dirty. Yeah,
right,
it's all tannins.
Now the tannins coming off the wood?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what kind of wood is that?
That is Malaysian.
Malaysian, okay.
Yeah.
And you've got what in here?
A Borellii epistogramma.
Cool.
When I cleaned this tank out and I took all the fish to the shop, I missed this one and another one, but I separated them because they were being mean to each other.
Right. All right. One of my faves.
I just got those Saturday at Aquashella.
Good. So I got some that are just like them, so hopefully mine look like that once I can warm them up.
Yes. And that's why there's a heater back there. And then I have the other bag of another pair floating on top.
Oh.
Because I traded some shrimp for those.
Sweet.
You know, and I've kind of learned my lesson. I've had just a pair before, like the black rams that I have over here.
Yeah.
I guess they're not really black. They're more dark rams. Dark night. But
all right. We looked at this. No, we didn't. Was it?
Well,
oh, yeah,
yeah,
with the
that's the
Swasser
Washington.
tank. But we didn't talk about the guppies.
no, those are fry from, again, way back, just like the turquoise albinos up there. I got them when I first moved in here and set up these tanks. And
we were talking about how small these guppies are.
yes.
Like, these guppies are like not even a full inch full grown.
Yeah. And I've had them for 6 months.
But it's cool. Like,
They're like little dwarf guppies or something. But that's
Right.
why I put a heater in there.
Yeah.
To see if that'll help, get some growth on them. And then I've been feeding them high protein baby brine shrimp.
like I would rather mine be this small.
Yeah, they're almost like nano guppies.
Yes. And then in here.
In there I have 2 shadow pandas.
And I think you
missed
can
when I
see
took the rest of them to the shop.
it's back there on the bottom by the sponge filter.
And then there's the other Borellii is in here.
Okay, he was right there at the rocks back there, but
And it's weird because you see the growth on that water sprite.
yeah,
Doesn't look like it looks like a baby plant.
mm-hmm.
Well, that plant's been in that tank now for about 3 months.
Oh, here he comes.
But it keeps on spitting out little babies that float to the top.
Hmm.
Those are the water sprite plants that I have in
Over
my
here?
clown killifish tank.
Huh.
So it's not growing crazy, but it's spitting out babies. And the babies, when I put them in the other tanks, they just flourish and grow like crazy.
That is a cute little fish.
I felt bad for it because it was floating up at the top of the corner of the tank because the other one was beating them.
Aw. Nope. And what we got right there, Panda Corey. I'm gonna send you some of my long
I said
pins.
shadow panda, didn't I?
Yeah,
I'm thinking shrimp.
that's okay.
That's funny.
And look at these pretty guys. Look at that guy. He is pretty.
Those are yellow lace guppies.
They are. Them yellow laces is pretty.
And those also are from tiny fry.
They are. They're small.
I grew them up because, like I said, when I first moved in and set up all this racks, and I had, I think, 17 different strains of guppies.
Yes.
So I was frantically trying to get the tanks set up, and water in them, the fish in them, and then babies were coming, and I was trying to separate the babies, and then trying to go back and forth to the store. It just got crazy.
Oh, yeah. I know it.
So I ended up with these 3.
Man, he's showing off, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is.
He is all kinds of showing off in another pretty little scape. You got the touch, dude.
That's what my son used to always tell me, and I loved having him around because he would critique me and give me ideas. He was like, they all look the same, but they're all different.
Take 2. I had to go make sure the dogs weren't like locking my truck or anything. All right. Oh, go up. Okay, there we go. What we got in this one?
This one we have my Galaxy Fishbone Shrimp. And I only have a few of them in here, but I've had this strain and this line for a couple of years now. I got them before my house fire. Jason saved some of them. I took some of them with me to Flip Aquatics when I was up there in Ohio. And then they came back with me to Arkansas. And then when I got here to Texas, I grabbed some of them from Jason. And it's been up and down because I was trying to bring them into tanks that I had just set up.
Right.
That's very dangerous with some of these shrimp like this. So
yeah,
I lost a few, but
now are your tanks drilled?
No, not yet. Anyways,
okay.
Because all of this in this fish room was supposed to be temporary while I build my fish room next door.
Yep.
And that one's empty right now because if you notice, even from the other day when you were here, it's already clearing up.
Yes, it is.
So that's kind of my whole process is I love for the algae to build up and then naturally go away because the tank is starting to get cycled and get better balanced.
Get it stuck together.
Yeah, and to me it's a good indicator. I can visually check and see, okay, look, the moss or the algae is turning white.
Right.
It's starting to disappear and the plants are starting to get greener and spread out a little bit.
And now I noticed that these tanks were like, I asked you, like, these tins, these look really short to be tins. And so I figured out that you've got the
filters.
The Matin filters, right? Let me show them the side and show where they're coming. So a 10-gallon with a Matin filter.
Yes.
2.
And what I like about this is if I needed to add something into the tank, I could add it back here without it messing up the front of the tank.
Yeah.
You know, even when I pour my salts in, I could pour them back here.
Yeah.
If I use a bag of maybe some alder cones.
Now, where are you getting your sponge from?
All of these came from Flip Aquatics.
All of the sponges already like pre-cut?
Yeah, they had the holes in them. Because he sells them on his website.
Sweet.
Shameless plug, Rob.
Right. Go, Rob. Go, Rob. All right. What we got here?
And there is, and the glass is a little algae
all right?
filled. But that's food for the shrimp. Those
That's
are
right.
red fancy tigers.
And these are caridinas.
Yes. All of the top tanks are my caridina tank setups. And the 3 on the bottom. So all of them, I hope, they all have active substrate. Now in these top ones, I use a mix of sand and active substrate. Because the shrimp just love playing in that sand. And they end up digging out the little balls of substrate anyway, so.
Yeah. Those are pretty.
Yeah, and I like the look of the black sand sometimes.
Oh, I do. I like white too, but I like black too. Oh, right here.
And here is a breeding pair of cottapunks.
These are cool, y'all. I didn't even, every time he talked about them, I had no clue what these suckers were. But that is a cute little fish I want.
Yeah, I was surprised. The little short video I did of the cottapunk up close.
Nobody, I don't think many people know what it is. Like, they don't think of it as a type of, like, shelly.
Right.
But they're pretty. I mean,
Yes.
he's...
And I believe somewhere around here,
Pretty.
they have some, they're trying to
you
do
said,
some
like, right
eggs.
there, and
Yeah.
they got a shell covered up.
Yeah. And usually when they start digging up like that and putting their little pits and covering shells and then opening them back up, it usually means they have eggs and they're letting them incubate, and then they open up the shell a little bit so they can kind of...
You check on them?
Yeah. It's so cool to watch.
Yeah, I don't see her out and about today.
Well, because we're standing in front of it, they both went back into the corner. Or maybe she went in one of the shells. No, they're back over there by the filters.
Oh, both of them are?
Mm-hmm. They're not used to
The
company
camera.
You know, and again, I'm one of the... this tank is somewhat new in its setup. So I expected the algae growth. And once I get some of my other plants trimmings, I'll throw them in the top and let them float, and it'll start helping to absorb some of the nitrates, and that algae will disappear on its own.
Right. All right. What we got here?
On the bottom, these are all a new caridina setup for these 3 racks. I mean, these 3 tanks.
So nothing's in them yet. They're just getting ready.
Yeah, that tank right there.
I love that tank. I love that tank.
That's all the moss that I got at Aquashella this weekend.
Is it really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's all Java moss.
Wish I could have got my hands on that much. That's awesome.
Had 10 bags of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I just
And then-
threw it in there. And this one, all 3 of these tanks, they should be ready for some Cardina shrimp now. They've been cycling for over a month. But I haven't put anything in them yet because I don't see enough algae yet.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, in this tank, that piece that's in there with the Sawasratang on it I've had that for a year and a half.
This tank going?
No, that
Oh.
little tree.
Oh.
So I trim the moss, like I said, I'll trim it off of there and then it grows back. So I keep on trimming it, and then I take the clippings and put them in my other tank, like the one that's full of Sawasratang.
Wow. All right. We're going to start on them so we ain't got to get up.
There you go.
All right. What was here?
And that one, I used to have the 24 karat gold guppies in there,
Uh-huh.
but I moved them out, and those are the painted fire reds that Joe from Joe's Crab Shack gave me.
Sweet.
Shameless plug, Joe. I'm going to do that all day.
That's okay, because I
I
support
got to shout
you.
out all my people.
That's right.
But that one, yeah, and then I'm also using that tank to help try to grow that spiral or corkscrew valve, whatever they call it.
Yeah, I wanted to get some of that. I mean, I am going to get some. I just didn't get it from Aquashella. I'm going to be with getting some from Joe. But I didn't want to take anything from him that he could sell. So,
Right.
All right. And here.
And here are some baby cottapunks.
Yep. They're so cute.
I couldn't help but take a couple because, again, these I've had these for a couple of years now. They survived the house fire. Jason took them to his place, bred them out, and so the fry that he rescued from my house are in this 20 gallon, the first 20 gallon you saw. And then those are fry from that batch.
Ouch. Wow.
And they're too young to tell if they're male or female.
Okay.
So that's why I just got 3 and crossing my fingers that I got a male in there.
Right. They're so cute. They're so cute.
They're awesome.
All right.
And here are yellow King Kongs that I got from Michael Esposito. He was one of the entries in the American Shrimp Contest. So
At Aquashella?
Yeah.
Is he the one that won first place in the Neo Cardinia?
Yeah.
I know he is.
I think these are the ones.
Okay, sweet.
Or yeah, because he said they were yellow King Kongs that were calls from his really.
Yeah. And you have a coolie loach out and about, like not hiding.
I don't give them an option. There's nothing in there for them to hide under except for the sponge filter. So they're kind of just...
Mine do the same thing. They can't hide, but they're in a bowl so they can go around and then go to the other side. I couldn't see them, but...
And that's a single Pingu guppy that I got at the same time I got the yellow lace and the blue dragons. He survived all of this craziness.
Wow. He just don't have a girlfriend.
And I have no idea where that big giant snail came from.
I was just looking at that snail. There's another one up on the thing over there that I like their colors. Like they're neat.
Are those mystery snails?
They look like mystery snails. I was going to say that.
Well, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. It's a mystery snail.
It's a mystery snail because it's a mystery how you get them.
Right? Dun, dun, dun. I don't remember putting any mystery snails in this tank, but maybe they hitched a ride on a plant or something.
That's how I got, what is it? That I think it's a mosquito fish, but it came in those lilies that I bought to go in my outside tubs, and I knew it wasn't a guppy, so I took and threw it in with the guppies, with the goldfish. Goldfish didn't eat it, but it survived.
And here's some more 24 karat golds. And I just moved them out of the tank so I could get the shrimp in place.
Right.
And this entire tank was filled with guppy grass. All of these tanks were. But when I had to take the fish out so I could take them back up to the shop, I had to remove all of the guppy grass to catch them.
Right.
And then I just took it down to my buddy's house and put
What's
it
here?
in the pond. And here is the cherry shrimp that I got from Jess.
What?
Yes. Shameless plug, Jess.
Right. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Well, we got one that didn't make it, but hey, there's like 30 more. They're babies. There's a bunch of babies in here.
Yeah. And then, so all of these plants, I put them in here specifically so I can try to see if I could get some growth. I propagated them, replanted them,
right there.
and then put them in there. And even that little piece of the Nacarus, I just got it with some of the shrimp. With that wisteria in the back, I've already taken a couple of clippings from the top, so that's why.
Got new growth.
Yeah.
All right.
And here's more black koi short bodies and 2 German blue rams. They're nice and fat because I just fed them.
You know, I think because your tanks, I've been trying to decide whether it's going to do black or blue. And I think I'm going to go with the blue. I don't know. I just think it's water blue. Water's clear, but
well, blue's my favorite color. But when I saw the
but now the matte filters look good too. So.
Oh, you mean on the back and the painting?
Uh-huh.
These were all.
Already?
Like I said, they were already painted when I got them. We got them from somebody, I forget his name, but he was, had to move for his job. So he had like 17 aquariums. And Jason said, hey, let's go get them. So I drove out to East Texas and I picked them up and I brought them back here and I set them up.
Wow. All right.
In that tank is the orange ones you gave me.
The orange. Oh yeah, there's one in the back. And these are the same line that won second place in the American Shrimp Contest this weekend at Aquashella Dallas. I was so excited.
Yes. And that's all that's in there. It's just those and one, I think, short-bodied black koi fry.
There's 2 guppies at the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 of them.
2 of them.
I've only seen one at a time. Huh. But again, all of these tanks were so full of guppy grass. That's why, like this tank where the blue rams are, it's the same thing. There's still guppy grass in there. I got that Bacopa from Lucas in Orlando.
Cool. I've got Bacopa too. All right.
This one.
I love this tank. I like the bricks. I like it all.
Yeah, this is my favorite because this is my personal tank. That's why
it's like the show tank.
Yes, that's why it's aquascaped somewhat. This my style.
Right, and your style is pretty cool.
So this is. I had caridinas in there, but I pulled them out and put them in the other tanks. Mm-hmm. And now it houses your
blues,
your blue Neos.
There's one.
I was really hoping to maybe spend more money this weekend and get more shrimp, but I was being a responsible adult.
Right? Me too. Until I look at my bank account.
Yeah, I don't want to do like TN Aqua. He's walking out with, this is $130.
Yeah.
He bought all of our cottapunks.
Did he really?
Yes. I think we had 5 or 6.
Well, I'll have to trade him now that I know that. I'm going to trade him some shrimp because he wants some of my reds. So, or my oranges. I don't remember which one. I'm going to trade him for some cottapunk babies.
But I love this tank. I stare at it all the time just because it's so pretty.
You need to enter an aquascape one time.
Yes. I'd love to get an aquascape.
Well, there's some back there in the back.
And pretty much what I love about it is I set it up like I did in the video.
Yeah.
And I pretty much have just topped it off. I think once I did a 50% water change. And other than that, it's just maintenance free.
And they seem happy as a lark because they came out of it like an 800 TDS. So they're doing good. And you're dang near RO water.
Yep. And that's the thing is I know that the Neos can handle it if I get them. If I have to put more minerals,
right,
I will. But they can handle it better than the Caridina can handle living in Neo parameters. And that plant that's there, that's a Bobitus helfieri, I think it's what it's called. That's really, really expensive stuff.
Really?
Yes. I paid originally for about a piece as big as this plant right here.
That little bitty one?
Yeah, the little bitty one. I paid $25 for it, and he didn't want to sell it to me. I bought it from
they're all coming out to say bye, Mom.
John Wagner at Pets and Things. I did a video on them too.
You see, remember I was telling you they're carrying a little bit of the
black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like he's white. They're lighter, like the dark blue and then the light blue. Mm-hmm. Almost like a Rilly, but the Rilly's not clear.
Right.
And what's here?
In there is, that's another new tank that I set up, but it has a tangerine tiger and a blue aura and the little bitty fry that I've been able to pull out from the Blue Bolt tank that are orange and white stripes. Orange-eyed white stripes.
They're going to hide from us.
Oh, yeah. They're in there.
Oh, yeah.
But they're hiding.
They're
I think the tangerine one is right next to that cholla wood back there by the filter.
Oh, okay. See if I can get it angled right. I think I got him. Ha ha ha.
But that one's a brand new, well, not brand new, but it's been cycled as long as the other one's down there. So you can see how that one's grown algae.
Uh-huh.
And that's why that one has the shrimp.
Right.
Versus the other ones that haven't.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think those are little new mystery snails from somewhere.
That's crazy.
All right. Well, thank you so much for letting me do a tour.
No, thank you for coming by.
Figured I'd stop by for Videio Dallas.
I feel like one of the cool kids because actually somebody came and filmed my fish room for the first time ever.
I'm glad it was me.
Mm-hmm. I think out of all of them, that one's my favorite rack.
This rack?
Mm-hmm. Not because of the tanks or anything, just that build.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I'm headed out. Papa Shrimp.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching and touring my fish room.
Get your shirt.
Papa Shrimp.
Papa Shrimp.